When it comes to dining in Disney World, it can be pretty overwhelming trying to choose what to eat. So today we are going to go through our complete guide to breakfast in Walt Disney World. I hope you're hungry. Sorting through the hundreds of dining options at Disney's theme park resorts and shopping district can actually feel super overwhelming. So today we are going to break down those best breakfast options with our complete guide. Now, an important note is that you can find Starbucks and Joffrey's coffee in all 4 of those theme parks. So we're not going to be mentioning those today in any of our rankings or discussions. So we are starting here in Magic Kingdom with what might be one of the most famous Disney World breakfast items, maybe ever, but it's not a Mickey waffle, although you could get one here. I am here at Sleepy Hollow Refreshments in Liberty Square in Magic Kingdom to grab one of my favorite things, honestly, in all of Magic Kingdom. Now, like I said, you can get a Mickey waffle here with strawberries, occasionally bananas, and it is incredible, but that's not what we're here for. This is the fresh fruit waffle sandwich with a chocolate hazelnut spread. And oh my goodness. Let's just go ahead and dive in. Cheers, friends. This waffle is absolutely incredible. Truly, they do not play around when they say fresh fruit. It is so juicy. The banana is so nice and soft. The strawberries are incredible. Mixed with that hazelnut spread, which is just so creamy and rich on a crispy, like truly crispy waffle. It's absolutely incredible. I love this waffle. I kind of forget about it sometimes, but it's like as soon as you start eating it, you realize why it's so popular and why it's so good. It is so filling. And I think that a lot of people could share this potentially between 2 adults, maybe. It's so good. I mean, I don't even know what else. Like, it is so rich and decadent and heavy and sweet. So if you're looking for a sweet breakfast that is actually filling, because sometimes they're not always super filling, this is going to be a great option. Now, this might be my favorite breakfast in Magic Kingdom, but it is certainly not the only one. So let's talk about what comes in kind of at a runner-up position here in Magic.
Now, when it comes to other incredible eats around Magic Kingdom for breakfast, I often find myself at Friar's Nook. Now, they have lots of great options, but for me, the sausage gravy tots are where it's at. They are so hot and crispy. They're potatoes covered in sausage gravy, and there's really not much more you can ask for. They're heavy and super filling, and definitely a great option for even one of those random chilly mornings. They're super good, super comforting, and honestly a crowd pleaser. Now, there are some other options as well outside of our top Sleepy Hollow and our runner-up with Friar's Nook. Next up, we're going to talk a little bit about Gaston's Tavern. Now, Gaston's Tavern did not make the top 2, even though their cinnamon roll is iconic and insane, because really that's all there is when it comes to breakfast, is that one cinnamon roll, so it's a little bit harder for a crowd pleaser item, but good nonetheless. Next up, you can also head over to Lunching Pad if you're looking for something a little bit different. This is where you're going to find the sticky bubble bread as well as a really kind of fun omelet option. There's just 2, they're smaller, they're not the biggest, but they're different, they're good, and they are an option if you just happen to find yourself over in Tomorrowland. Finally, if you are a rope dropper of Adventureland and you normally wrap up around Big Thunder Mountain and you want something right then and there, you can head over to Westward Ho, where you're going to find a breakfast sandwich with some Joffrey's coffee. Again, not a ton of options, but the ones they do have are pretty good. When it comes to table service, you can actually find 2 different table service breakfasts. First is Crystal Palace, where you're going to have breakfast with Winnie the Pooh and all of his friends at a buffet breakfast. And then the other one is Cinderella's Royal Table, where you're going to have breakfast with some incredibly beautiful princesses. And it's a prefixed dining meal, so you're actually going to pay before you go, but very great experience because you're eating in the castle. Now, if you want to see reviews of both of those, we have them up on the channel right now. And we even have a full breakfast playlist on the channel right now.
Alrighty, for our Epcot breakfast, we are here at not just one of our favorite Epcot breakfasts, but one of our full favorite Disney World breakfasts, and that is here in the France Pavilion at Les Halles. And I'll say the full name in a minute, but I'll probably butcher it. So here we are in the back of the France Pavilion, and this is Les Halles Boulangerie, Patisserie, Café, Boutique de Cadeau. I know, I probably said it wrong, but I'm really trying my hardest. And Quincy's teaching me, slow and steady wins the race, right? Now, if you have never been to Epcot, there aren't a ton of breakfast options, but this one is good. Not just because it's one of the only ones, but because it's just truly good. So let's hop in line and grab one of our favorites. Now for breakfast here, we did grab the Florentine quiche, and it's ham and green
Gruyere cheese. This is one of our favorite things. If you want to see a full review of every single item, we actually have that up on the channel right now in Eat Everything in France video.
So I will say, first thing I'm noticing out the gate is the menu did say ham. It said ham in this one and the quiche Lorraine. I don't see any ham in this. So maybe it was just a misprint on the menu that I was reading, but there is lots of spinach. It is so creamy and savory. The herbs and spices really come through. It just almost melts in your mouth, and then the pastry itself is so flaky. This is easily one of my favorite breakfasts in all of Disney World. And it's not even like a Disney breakfast, it's just a high quality breakfast. Plus with the incredible pastries and everything here, this is untouchable to me. This is number one. There's a reason it's Quincy's favorite, there's a reason it's my favorite. If you're gonna have breakfast in Epcot, this is the breakfast you should be having. Hands down, no competition. Okay, now another thing is they actually do have coffees back here as well. They are not the specialty Joffrey's coffees, but they are specialty coffees, and you even have some flavor shots like hazelnut and vanilla. So it's just always nice to be able to get everything in one spot rather than going to two. So cheers. So warm. Now, although it is the best, Les Halles is not your only option here in Epcot, so let's talk about some runners-up and maybe even some table services. Now, the runner-up is actually back here in France as well. It's crepes et importer. I know I butchered that as well. I promise I'm trying my hardest though. This is the runner-up. Now, this has amazing crepes and galettes, and it is wonderful. Plus, they even have some mimosas back here if that's something that you're interested in. If you want to see more of this and you kind of want to see a little bit of a taste test of some of those, you can actually check out the Secret to Epcot in One Day video, which is actually on the channel right now. These are not the only places to grab breakfast, although there aren't too many more. There's two more options if you're here in Epcot for breakfast. One is Sunshine Seasons, or the other is Kringle Bakery in Norway. Now, Sunshine Seasons actually has some pretty decent options. They're nice, they're good, comforting breakfast sandwiches, and Kringle Bakery has, of course, some more bakery type options. So pastries, they have that amazing school bread, just some different options. But if you're looking for something more familiar, definitely head to Sunshine Seasons. Now, when it comes to table service options, we are not going to break them down completely, but there are 3 table service options that do breakfast here in Epcot. The first is Garden Grill, which you can actually check out a full review of on the channel right now. The second is here in France as well at Le Crêperie de Paris. And then the third is Akershus Royal Banquet Hall. Now, Akershus Royal Banquet Hall is actually a character dining option where you can meet some princesses over in the Norway Pavilion as well. It's really wonderful, and we have full reviews of both of those restaurants up on the website AllEars.net. Okay friends, so we have made our way to Hollywood Studios, and if you want the ultimate breakfast here, you might have to travel to a galaxy far, far away. Over here in Galaxy's Edge is where you're gonna find what we think is the best breakfast in Hollywood Studios, especially when it comes to quick service. Now, we are gonna head to the back of the marketplace today to check out Ronto Roasters, which is easily my personal #1, and I know it's our entire team's #1 actually too. Now, over at Ronto Roasters, that is where you're going to find the famous Ronto wrap, which is incredible, but it isn't the morning Ronto wrap, which is why we're here, and weirdly, I prefer this one, so let's talk about it. This is it. This is our morning Ronto wrap, and it has eggs, grilled pork sausage, shredded cheese, and an amazing peppercorn sauce all inside of a pita bread wrap. And oh my goodness, guys, I love this. Now, grabbing a morning Ronto wrap is truly one of my favorite pastimes in the world. My best friend and I, when she's here, we will literally come to Hollywood Studios, get a morning Ronto wrap, and then a cold brew black half from Hot Sockets Kettle, which is right next door, and we'll eat breakfast and then we'll leave because we love them that much. Like, that's our favorite thing to do. So I'm thrilled to share this with you today. Cheers. I love this. I cannot overstate how much I really enjoy Ronto Roasters for breakfast. They also have some incredible overnight oats that I really enjoy, but this is easily the standout for me. The pita bread is more like a naan bread. It is really light, really fluffy. It's incredible. They have even like a little bit of char on the side, which is just really tasty and flavorful. The egg is a nice amount of protein that kind of is going to keep you more full throughout the day. Nothing special like flavor wise, but it's just a nice addition to have. The pork sausage is easily my favorite part of this. I really like how it is texturally. It just has a good bite, almost like, not a crunch, but it's just, it kind of bounces back at you. It's really, really savory, really flavorful. The cheese, of course, is delicious. Who doesn't like a little bit of cheese? But the peppercorn sauce is what sells it for me. It is so savory and flavorful. It's really, really interesting, and I think I really like it because it is so chock full of protein that it keeps you really full throughout the rest of your day. And I mean, honestly, the quality's just there. It's really, really nice, and it's a crowd pleaser. Now, if you're a little bit nervous about that sauce, you can ask for it on the side, but we actually recommend you ask for extra because we love it that much. Now, even though these flavors might be a little bit more common to me, this might seem a little bit daunting to you. So if this is not your option or not something you're interested in, there is a second option that we absolutely recommend. Oh, stormtroopers. I'm a little nervous. Hi. Oh, I didn't like how he looked at me. Now, if this feels a little bit too out of this world for you, we totally get it. So our second recommendation for your ultimate breakfast guide is going to be right here in Toy Story Land at Woody's Lunchbox. So Woody's Lunchbox is one of the most popular spots in all of Hollywood studios, and that's for good reason. If you're into anything that's a little bit more traditional, you like a little bit of tater tots, some gravy, some eggs, something that's kind of familiar and comforting, you're going to want to head over here. Now, if you're looking for some breakfast over here, you're going to find the breakfast bowl. It has a hearty portion of potato barrels, which is essentially tater tots, smothered with some smoked biscuit country gravy, scrambled eggs, and a little bit of green onions. There's also a kids breakfast bowl option, which I actually end up getting because this is so heavy. If you're looking for something maybe a little bit on the sweeter side for your breakfast, they also have boxed tarts here at Woody's Lunchbox, which is essentially a homemade Pop-Tart, but they have seasonal flavors all of the time. They almost always have their raspberry tart, which I actually really like. Now, these are a little bit more controversial. They're not going to be familiar to your kiddos, so don't think it's an exact copy of a Pop-Tart. It definitely is not, but it's a good sweet option here as well. Both of these locations are really, really popular, Ronto Roasters and Woody's Lunchbox, so we highly recommend using that mobile order option over on the My Disney Experience app. Gosh, now there's army men? What is going on in Hollywood studios? Both Woody's Lunchbox and Ronto Roasters also offer those lunch options as well, and Woody's even goes into dinner, and they are incredible. If you want to see a little bit more of Woody's in particular, we have an Eat Everything in Toy Story Land, which at the time of filming was essentially just Woody's Lunchbox, which you can go check out on the channel right now, where you can see us have breakfast and lunch over at this option and get a little bit of a better idea of what they have here. In our opinion, these two are almost impossible to beat over here in Hollywood Studios, but they aren't the only options. So let's chat a little bit about what else you can find over here for breakfast. When it comes to sit-down dining, there is actually only one option here in Hollywood Studios, and you're gonna find it here at Hollywood and Vine. Now, we aren't gonna go into a ton of detail because there is a full review up on the channel of Hollywood and Vine right now, but if you're looking for a place to sit down for breakfast, this is gonna be your only option here in this park. Hollywood and Vine is a buffet-style dining option, and for breakfast, this is where you're gonna find the Disney Junior Play and Dine. So if you're looking for any of those special Disney Junior characters and that's what your kiddo's really interested in, or even just you want a good breakfast to sit down at, this is going to be your number one and only option. If you're a rope dropper like me and you kind of naturally go down Sunset, there is going to be one breakfast option over here that just because it wasn't one of our top two does not mean it's not good. All right, so right here in the shadow of the Tower of Terror is where you're going to find our last breakfast option here in Hollywood Studios, and it's weirdly my obsession and I think almost kind of a secret. So here on the left side of the Tower of Terror is where you're going to find Hollywood Scoops ice cream. And you're probably thinking, Emma, I really don't want ice cream for breakfast. Maybe my kids do, but not really what I'm looking for. And I'm here to tell you that it isn't just ice cream over here. So over here, yes, of course, you're gonna find that hand-scooped ice cream, but you're also gonna find the waffle platter. It's Mickey-shaped waffles served with fresh blueberries, whipped cream, and syrup, freshly brewed Joffrey's coffee, and even a mimosa if you're wanting that. You know, no judgment. It's your vacation. Now, I have to be totally honest, this is my personal number one option. Obviously, Ronto and Woody's are incredible. They are the most recommended by myself and our team. But just on a personal level, I love coming to Scoops to get those Mickey blueberry waffles. They're so good. They're huge. There's like 3 or 4 on the plate. I know that I have shared them with friends in the past. My mom loves them. I love them. They're just good. Now, the reason it's not one of our top recommendations is because that is the only breakfast item that you can grab here at Scoops. So if you're looking for something for the whole family, you're gonna find more options elsewhere. But if you want just a good blueberry waffle, this is gonna be your stop.
So we're going to get breakfast.
Yep, we're gonna eat something.
And we're at Disney's Animal Kingdom, which is exciting because they've got really good breakfast food.
This is Kusafiri. This is a quick service window that I really love here in Africa. And during the day, they have some really delicious plant-based options later for lunch and also as a snack in the evening. But for breakfast, the options are a little bit limited. Now, this is the home of a bacon, egg, and cheese croissant sandwich, as well as breakfast tachos that also come fully loaded with eggs and other toppings. None of those things are plant-based. There are even overnight oats on the menu, which overnight oats other places on Walt Disney World property are made plant-based. The ones here are not. They're made with dairy. So our option today, potato barrels. Yes, classic, good old-fashioned tater tots, delicious. This is my pick for a quick breakfast on the go for plant-based eaters here in Animal Kingdom. And just so you know, very close by to Kusafiri is the Harambe Fruit Market, which is the home of the #1 pick for a snack in Disney's Animal Kingdom, according to both AllEars.net and Disney Food Blog. It is the famous grilled corn on the cob with African seasonings for $5.29. And I know what you're thinking, breakfast? Well, I'm eating potato for breakfast. Why not eat some corn? And you can do that because they open up at 9:45 a.m. They gave us a little time frame between 9:45 and 10 a.m. It opens every morning, and you can come here and get that famous corn for breakfast. And you can check out Sage and I eating that corn when he trapped me here in Disney's Animal Kingdom. As is, the corn on the cob with African seasoning does not come plant-based. You have to request it to not be dipped in the butter before it's seasoned. But I can tell you, it's very delicious even without the butter.
Next up on our guide to breakfast at Disney's Animal Kingdom in Walt Disney World is Drinkwallala. Drinkwallala is a small, quick service restaurant where you can grab bites to eat and food. And today we're going to try the stuffed pancake sandwich with sausage, guava paste, egg, and cheese, which I'm really excited about because it sounds salty, sweet, cheesy, just everything that you want in a good breakfast. Oh, wow. It's really good. Okay, so the sausage brings that really salty flavor. It's got that sweet guava tropical flavor. The egg is soft, and the pancake is really thick and fluffy. It's so delicious. Make sure that if you're gonna get the guava pancake sausage sandwich that you come early because she's taking it in, the sign. It's sold out. Literally, it's super popular, it's super delicious. Do not miss the opportunity to get it. Come here early. Again, we're at Drinkwallala, and that's right next to the entrance of Discovery Island.
Well, you know I love Yak and Yeti.
Who doesn't love a Yak and a Yeti?
Right next door, there is a quick service location called the Local Food Cafes. It's known as Yak and Yeti Local Food Cafes, but it's this really beautifully themed outdoor quick service restaurant that serves breakfast. There's a breakfast bowl with bacon or sausage, egg white English muffin. That's a classic, but this one has tomato, which I think makes it a little different from the ones sold at other places around Walt Disney World. Sausage, egg, and cheese muffin, egg American, and sausage on a toasted. That's the classic. Oh, this is egg whites, American cheese, and tomato on a toasted English muffin, which is great for vegetarians. Ooh, and they have pancake and sausage stick for kids, French toast also for them. It does say they have Uncrustables. I'm gonna ask and see if they will serve the Uncrustables now. Okay, this is the moment of truth. Uncrustable
And guava pancake sandwich
versus guava pancake sandwich. Okay, here we go. I am not mad at this.
Neither am I. This is a full breakfast and a bite.
Me too. Who doesn't love PB&J? And this is PB&J done right.
Without the crust.
Without the crust. If you're in some trouble as a plant-based eater in Disney World, you can find Uncrustables all over the place, all over property. And It's a solid option. Other options in Animal Kingdom for breakfast. Tamu Tamu. What do you think about Tamu Tamu?
Well,
It's a little...
Tamu Tamu is where you can get basically like Dole Whips and specialty drinks and things that are themed after like the Lion King. But I know that they have some breakfast pastries.
They've got pastries and a sandwich, and one breakfast sandwich. So, I don't know, if the line is shorter there than across the street at Kusafiri, literally, and all you want is a really basic breakfast sandwich or a pastry, then sure, go there over waiting in a long line. But that's not what we would generally recommend in terms of getting yourself the best breakfast in Animal Kingdom.
Absolutely.
Isle of Java.
Isle of Java is a good option. I mean, they're another place that has several different pastries.
Yeah.
Of course, they've got coffee. It's the Isle of Java, so you'd expect to get that. But it's not like, you know, something that's going to stand out. It's going to be basic things like croissants
and coffee.
Yeah.
So pastries. If you're on the move, I guess, and there's not a long line, then that's gonna probably be my theme for all of these. If you're not, you know, if the line isn't long and you're getting to your next ride, why not? Pongu Pongu for breakfast. They have a new cinnamon roll, but it isn't magical enough to make its way to the top of the list for AllEars. So that's not one of the places that we explored today. But, you know, if you want to try a new, different cinnamon roll in Animal Kingdom, if the colossal Mickey cinnamon roll isn't for you, give it a shot. Give it a try. It's over there in Pandora, in between Wind Traders and Satuli Canteen. That's what it's called.
I was trying to think of it too.
So many fun names at this hour of the morning.
Yes.
In terms of table service restaurants,
you've got Tusker House.
Yep.
And that's a buffet. And
I like that breakfast.
Yeah, they've got all types of delicious options. Yeah. You know, your basic bacon, eggs, you know. It's
on the more expensive side, but I think you get what you pay for. I personally, as a plant-based eater, really enjoy it, and I love seeing the characters and their safari outfits. That's the real reason to go. And then Rainforest Cafe, just as you're entering the park. They offer breakfast as well, and you have options.
Yeah, so if you want to sit down and have a breakfast meal, you have options. They even have Mickey waffles at Tusker House too.
Yes, they do, and I'm wearing vegan Mickey waffles.
And mine are non-vegan Mickey waffles.
Something for everyone.
For all of us.
When it comes to the resorts, this is where you are going to find some of our best breakfast options in all of Disney World. Now, for all Disney resorts, you can find a few grab-and-go offerings. Traditionally, you can find Mickey waffles, bacon, eggs, sausage, and other staples like that at almost every single Disney World quick service option. But the sit-down dining is where Disney Resort breakfasts really shine. Our favorite option is going to be Topolino's Terrace. This character dining is so incredible. It's located over at Disney's Riviera Resort, where you can find Mickey, Minnie, Daisy, and Donald showing all of their creative talents at Topolino's. They have some incredible options and I think the best views in Walt Disney World. But if you want to see a full breakfast review, you can check it out on the channel right now. Another option we love is Boma. Boma serves up some awesome American breakfast favorites here, but you can also get some food with some African influences. They also have some incredible breakfast cocktails, just like the striped and spiked cold brew, and we think that this buffet will certainly please almost every single adventurous and picky eater alike. If you're into something a little bit more bottomless, you're going to head over to Whispering Canyon, where you're going to find bottomless skillets. I mean, what more can you say? They have 3 options over there. The Heritage, which is going to give you kind of that standard variety of biscuits, bacon, waffles, and eggs. You can also find the Carnivore, which is a lot more of a meat-based option with some barbecue, slow smoked ribs, beef brisket, pulled pork, and a citrus herb chicken. Plus, if you're looking for something a little bit lighter, they also have the lighter side, which has oatmeal, fresh fruit, yogurt, eggs, and turkey bacon. If you're not into those options though, you can also check out some a la carte options, so that way you don't have to feel like you have to share your waffles and oatmeal with the rest of the table. Again, we have a full review up on the channel of Whispering Canyon if you want to check that out now. You can't talk breakfast options though without bringing up Ohana. This is where you're going to find Lilo and Stitch serving up some more breakfast skillets, but this time with some Hawaiian-inspired options. And this is the only place you can actually meet Lilo in Disney World. They're going to have things like the Hawaiian-style ham topped with pineapple compote and fried island potatoes, pineapple coconut breakfast-style bread, and even Stitch waffles. Again, we've got that review up on the channel right now. Finally, we're going to have to talk about what might be the most famous breakfast of all, and that is Chef Mickey's. Mickey and his friends have been working tirelessly to whip you up some incredible breakfast options over at Disney's Contemporary Resort. Chef Mickey's is one of the most popular character dining experiences on property because the character interactions are so much fun. From Celebration Mickey waffles to banana bread French toast, it's kind of hard not to find something that we think you'll love. And because it is simply not possible to list them all, this is just scratching the surface of some amazing eats around Walt Disney World resorts, but we do think these are some of the best. Let's talk about Disney Springs for a little bit. Now over at Disney Springs, just like at the theme parks, they're gonna have two options, those on-the-go options and then those sit-down options. When it comes to on-the-go, we cannot talk about breakfast without talking about Everglazed donuts and cold brew. It's an amazing sweet start to your day. Donuts, cold brew, and then some incredible breakfast sandwiches. But if you're not into something that heavy or that sweet, Earl of Sandwiches also has some great breakfast options for running around. If you have food allergies, you can also find Aaron McKenna's Bakery NYC, which is an allergy-friendly bake shop, so a nice option there. When it comes to sit-down options, we have a passion for these. First up, and our number one in Disney Springs is going to be Homecoming for that incredible Southern comfort food brunch. It is absolutely incredible. It's heavy, comforting, and dangerous, to be honest with you. If you want to see a full review on that, you can check it out on the channel right now. Another option is Wine Bar George. This is one of Quincy's favorites. It's only available on the weekends from 10:30 a.m. to 2 p.m. and you can find things like the artisanal cheese board, burrata, and then the wine country omelet, plus their famous fried chicken biscuit. If neither of those tickle your fancy, you can head over to the Boathouse for the Captain's Sing-Along Brunch. They have things like avocado toast, steak and eggs, a chicken biscuit and gravy, Belgian waffles, shrimp and grits, or even crab cakes Benedict. But one thing that we're going to keep our eye on is the brand new Summer House on the Lake, which is opening sometime soon in Disney Springs. Traditionally has had a brunch at their other locations, so we'll keep our eye on that.
If you like this video, go ahead, like and subscribe.
And now go watch our review of Cape May Cafe.
Bye. Bye.